And welcome back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Belle. I'm Eve. And we have again covered up Beth.
We're covering her up early this time.
These are paper flowers I made almost exactly a year ago. Yeah. Maybe I made them around March.
There's something in this one I thought, is that a bug? But it's not a real flower, so it's not a real flower. But,
it's from a Skillshare class, and I just
it's so pretty.
really
I'm going to turn it so all of them can be seen because there's pretty ones back here.
There's Icelandic poppies and
it's so pretty.
I can't remember what these are called. Anyway, peonies, yeah, and then there's cherry blossoms.
I love these
eucalyptus leaves.
Branches.
Yeah, so
pretty. Okay, now we can reveal Beth. There's Beth. Put this. I'm gonna knock it down, so I'm gonna put it over here, so I don't knock it down. Hello.
Hello.
So we're back.
So I'm gonna go first. We have I remember last week I was making some scissor fobs. I made 3 of that kind. And there were pictures last week, but we'll take another one because there's 3 different.
You just put up the beads last week. You didn't put up the fobs because you hadn't made them yet.
How did I put one? Did I not put one?
No,
maybe the bug one or something.
Oh, the bug one.
I don't know.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll show them to you again.
So there's 3 different hearts
you don't mind
at the bottom. And what I love about these beads is they're glass beads, but inside there's little roses. And I think they're just really pretty.
They are pretty. They're very
and then the hearts that are in them are little crystal hearts. And you can't see anything I'm talking about, but there will be a picture inserted here.
Insert photo
so
here.
These are on our Etsy shop already.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And then, it was the wing. That's the one.
Yeah, that's
the wing one. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
The bug one.
So these are on our Etsy site as wings, not as butterflies. Because I even asked at Hobby Lobby, the person who orders for that department, what kind of wings are these? What does it say? She says butterfly. I'm like, they're butterfly wings? And they kind of look like butterfly wings.
What did you do?
Did you drop a stitch?
This morning before I came here, sorry, I switched from a circular needle to double pointed needles. And I just forgot. And I did my natural circular needle thing, which is
push it down.
Push the stitches.
So you dropped a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. So, sorry.
So I have these. These are on the Etsy site. There's green wings and purpley blue ones and orange. And there's another color, which I haven't made yet because I ran out of these long beads that made the little bugs. I don't know what kind of bugs these are. But I try to make them look like butterflies.
I said they were like mayflies.
Yeah, actually, yeah. They look like lace wing or something.
So Rogue is down here again, trying to be part of the video. She always wants to be in my video when I do my updates. So these are also on the Etsy site already. And I'm going to be adding another color for those wings. I can't remember what that other color was. Yellow, I think. Anyway, these, I just really love these. I think the beads are so
having
pretty.
a crisis.
You know why I did that? Because I somehow started, I forgot I have 5. I was doing 4 needles on the tube and the 5th one to knit with, and I just kept going on the same needle and put twice as many stitches on this needle, and that's why I'm like, this doesn't fit. Why doesn't? Oh my gosh! I'm losing my mind.
And then these are not yet on there because I was waiting for. I take photos and wait for it to upload to my OneDrive so I can go from one device to another. So these aren't on there yet. This is a different type of heart, and I've got little white
But by the time you see these, it'll be on.
Should be.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
So
look for them.
yeah, look for these. I really love the way these came out too. They're colored hearts with white beads in between,
They remind me of candy.
and then a
Oh, I
heart
want some
charm at
candy.
the end. So look for those. And since I had this little Etsy update, and there will be pictures as I'm talking to you, you'll see them. I want to talk to you about several things. So I had 2 finishes. I finished Let Heaven and Nature Sing by Sweet Wing Studio. Yay! And Black Whale by DMC.
Let me see. Very cool.
Yeah, so
is it sparkly or is it?
yeah, I used it 12.
It does.
So if you see on my update, which I upload on Mondays, I'm going to show you how I'm going to finish that. But I have
pretty.
a frame that I.
Is that shadow box frame or is it a regular frame?
It's like a shadow box frame kind of thing.
That's cool.
Actually, I got it at Target, and it has like 3 little things that slide in and out.
it's
Your
that-
back
that-
looks really neat too. Very nice.
that insertable one? Or
Yeah, but I also have 2 little wooden fish, that wiggle, and I'm going to paint them and put them on the corners of the box.
That's cool.
So I won't have it finished by Monday. Probably not, because life is getting in my way lately. And then this, I think I might finish it on a little chalkboard I have that you won't be able to see the chalkboard, but it'll make it where it'll like sit up.
As a frame, yeah.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah, because it has one of those little things to stand it up. Now, at the beginning of January, I had with WIP Go, I had called my son's quilt, which I've shown you before. Oh my God, it's so dirty. Because when I'm working on it, it gets on everything. My son's quilt, which I'm not gonna show you everything.
I was gonna say,
But
I was trying to
I worked on another quarter, and I have that quarter halfway done. This is the first quarter that's done. Anyway,
Oh, that's good.
so I did not finish that number 2 on WIP Go. I was supposed to do 20 days on Itty Bitty Kitty Committee I showed you last week. My pitiful end. I said, nah, I'm not working on that right now. So I may get in a few more days before the end of January, but since there's less than 5 days left, probably won't get the other 5 days I need.
I saw this I was watching this Floster update in this called Confessions of a Cross Stitcher, and one of the things she said was something about putting a whip in timeout so it could think about what it's done.
So, but that's the nice thing about WIP Go is that I didn't finish it in January, but when I do finish it, and I will finish this quilt, and I will get the other days done on it, even more days done on that. I can still mark those off as completed. Mm-hmm. And at the beginning of January, I had decided
Papers
What was
fell.
that? Oh.
the
Something
little
fell.
kitties fell on the floor.
Oh no.
So they slid off the quilt and went. So I picked 4 of my whips because since we had the numbers before I wrote up my WIP Go, I knew
Yeah.
what the numbers were going to be, but I didn't want to have just quilting projects to work on. So I picked 4 of my whips to work on, and hoping that I would finish. One of those was this one. this doesn't include the 4 because that was supposed to be done at the end of December. So I'm happy it's done, but that wasn't one of the 4. The second one, sorry, can't count. So the whale was one. The second one was Mary Slytherin. This is a cross stitch pattern by Cross Stitching for Fun, and it's called Wizard Snowman, and it is a free pattern that is available on their Facebook group.
I'm just going to interject. When is cross stitching not for fun? I thought that was the point of cross stitching.
Right now, because I'm not having fun.
When your sisters force you into a challenge.
So I got all of the title done here this month so far. I don't know that I'm going to work any more on it. We'll see. And I got a lot of it has a lot of Krynic in it. So there's Krynic up here, and there's Krynic right here. I did that, and then I did some of his scarf. There's Krynic in the scarf.
Over there crying in your Krynic.
And once I finish that Krynic, I'm going to go in and do the... Oh, I'm showing it to you backwards. Because I'm looking there. The pictures I take won't be backwards. Anyway, so the Krynic is over here. And in his scarf. And so once I finish those...
And the Ada cloth is shiny.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
That's real cute.
Yeah, it's called... I looked it up because I kept forgetting. See, I also have one that's iridescent, kind of, but this is actually got little silver threads that are
That's pretty.
Anyway, once I finish the Krynic on it, I'm going to do the white. I have about a third of the white snowman done. You can't see it at all, but it's going to have back stitching around it. And so after that, it'll just be back stitching. I have one little back stitch black line, his little mouth in back stitch, and then around him. Mm-hmm. So he's not too far off from being done. Will he be done by the end of January? No, but these were just hopeful things, you know. And then,
well, you know, you don't want to put yourself on too much pressure, you know.
Well, these are just 4 whips that I had that I thought, well, maybe I can finish those.
Yeah. But you worked on them, so that's...
I did.
Yeah. That's
Well, I worked on most of them. So the third one was...
But I mean, you know, you don't have any hard goals like, I have to get this done by such and such because I have to, you know.
Yeah, there's no challenges. Yeah. It's not WIP Go. It's just...
Well,
none of these...
But the cross-stitch bleach are going to come and beat you because you didn't finish it.
None of these are on my WIP Go. Anywhere on my WIP Go. These are just... I thought, okay, they don't have tons left to do. Well, one of them does. But...
and they're not for any deadline like...
No, they're just stuff I wanted to finish. Yeah. So... The third one is Letters to Santa by it's a Mill Hill kit.
Your cursed kit.
It's so small and it has taken you so long. It's kind of funny, honestly.
Well,
like
yeah, but look how far I've gotten on it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
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 How many years have you been working on it?
Months, dear, not years.
Feels like years.
No, I started it for Jolly July a year ago.
Rivendell needle minder.
Yeah, it's a Rivendell needle minder.
In 2021, you started it, or 2020?
2021.
Okay. I can't tell.
So, I have all of the white finished, most of the blue finished. I've started on gray. I have all of the green finished. So I'm trying to get everything but the dog. And then I'll put in the dog. And then I have beading to do. So at the end of this month, I will not be working on this until July. So at the end of this month, I might, I was thinking about doing in Mania. I was thinking about doing a WIP Mania where I work on something. You know, I started on the Mary on the Wizard Snowmen. I started on them for Mania a year ago. You know, in 2021. And I got Mary Gryffindor done. And I started Mary Slytherin. I had so many issues with it that it's lucky that I even looked at it again. So then the last one that I had picked was Turtle by DMC. And this, because I like to make things more complicated for myself, I added Krynic in it to make it shiny. Yeah.
Let me see. That's pretty.
Yeah. I like the way it's coming out, but I miscounted in here his some little thing, and I'm just going to adjust the pattern because it's not going to matter.
Is Krynic where you add a filament to your thread?
There is a filament. There's a company called Krynic,
right?
And they make filaments and braids. And
depends on which kind, because you can use. There's some of them I think like the braids that you can use by themselves, and the blending filaments.
Blending filament. Is that what you're using there, Eve? Is blending filament or?
Yeah.
You typically do like one regular thread and one Krynic thread together, or
I think I tried that way long time ago, and it was a nightmare for me. But
yeah, it's hard to work with
the little
sometimes.
with the little spools.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It's like adding Christmas tinsel.
This did.
But it depends on the.
But you can also get regular
Right.
thread that has it already twisted in it.
No.
No?
Not the Krynic.
Oh.
The Etoile has like a shiny thing.
That's why the whale is a little bit shiny.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Etoile is easy to break when you're working with it. It like, I don't know. Anyway, so for February, I have a whole bunch of things going on. So the first being, I love to stitch with embroidery.com, 30 minutes a day. With everything else I have going on, I should be able to accomplish that no problem. The second thing being Winter Crossstitch Camp, which I talked about last week. And last week I had stated that I was going to do this one. And then I watched a video by Helen D. And she has been doing berries. And I did a berry last year. It was an Erica Michaels.
Did you do it for Christmas? I think?
I stitched it in October, I think, maybe September, and I finished one berry, but I didn't like finish it. And
I remember that.
I'm always afraid of those because they're so,
Well, it wasn't the mouse.
Can't be any harder than the mouse.
I was going to say, you made that tiny little
mouse was
It's minuscule.
But it came with everything you need. This one, and you have to gather it. And I bought. So I have that, and I have one berry stitched, and I wanted to do the other two. They're on my WIP Go. The other two isn't two berries. There's a square that you can put on stuff, and another berry. And I wanted to finish all of those, so they're on my WIP Go. But she's doing a berry sal, and she said you can do any berry you have, and I have another berry pattern called Meow or Cat Meow. It's another Erica Michaels thing. It's cats, and but she was doing the seasonal berries, and they're really pretty by Erica Michaels. And I went to the attic last
weekend,
last Friday, and they had the spring one. I tried to look at it because there's a special that through her that you can get them from a particular website, and there's a discount. So I tried to get it through that, but I went ahead and bought it at the attic because they had it. And I'm just
Is
gonna
it 3 different things, or is it just the same
Three
one
different
just
things.
done?
All
I
3
see.
patterns.
I see. Oh, how cute.
yeah. So for cross stitch camp, I'm gonna do the single color one.
Yeah, the spring.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to use this Murano Corée Ice, which is kind of a light bluish gray. And I'm going to use this green, and we'll take better pictures where you can see with that.
Is that the frog legs?
This is frog legs. This is Classic Colorworks frog legs.
Cute.
And
it says spring is sprung. That's the one you're doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a 1 color berry. So I can participate in the SAL and do my I Love to Stitch and do Winter Crossstitch Camp at the same time. Yay!
Kill 3 birds with
Yeah.
1 stone.
So
That's fun.
that's I'm doing that. And then on WIP Go, they called
Those are going to slide off.
I know, everything is precariously balanced here. On WIP Go, space 17 and 5 were called, which happens to be the the rabbits at the cafe that I wanted to start anyway.
Aw, nice.
Yeah, so there's that, and Beth's cat quilt. This is Calico Cats, and as you recall, I have 2 kitties finished already. Losing pieces. So I don't know if you can see them, but here's 1 cat,
Cute.
and here's another
I
cat.
forgot how big these were compared to the itty bitty.
The little itty bitty ones.
bitty kitties.
So I made a mistake. I put this either I put the wrong head, but I want to say I put the wrong background square here. So the background here is little cats, which are
Oh.
these.
Mm-hmm.
You switched the heads.
Well, no, I think I just put
No,
the wrong.
because the tail, the bottom is the same on those cats.
Oh yeah, so it's the heads that have to be
Yeah.
switched. So I could leave it, but
It's early. You could switch it.
I can switch it. Anyway, so this is what I'll be working on in February for my WIP Go. And on my WIP Go, I just need to work on it also 20 days because I really like a challenge. I might end up changing my WIP Go goals. And then, as if I didn't have enough projects planned. The coat.
The coat.
The coat.
Yes, I'm very excited about that.
Yes. So Naomi's going to lend me
I should have brought it today.
uh,
I forgot. The stripology.
the stripology ruler so that I can cut the strips easily to cut my 1-inch squares, 1.5-inch squares. I don't remember what it's called. What I have to look at it, but so that I can do this Bargello pattern. So I'm very excited. I haven't printed out the pattern yet. So I have to go to Kinko's or something and do it because there's so many. If I printed it out at size, the estimate I was given for it was like, what? I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I lost a needle.
Oh, you mean
You had
to,
it
to
here.
print it, to print a big,
I saw it when it was sitting there, and you probably picked it up when you were
Oh dear.
in something.
Anyway, that is mine.
I'll go next because I don't have very much to talk about.
Okay.
As usual, because I'm working on just a couple things. I'm going to insert a picture here of Hannah's quilt in its current state. It's actually, in the photo, it's folded up on my ironing board. I was able to put the small, I don't know why it took me so long. I cut the strips, both the inner border and outer border. The inner border is 2.5 We're distracted with the needles.
Sorry, we lost a needle here, and I was trying to see if it was stuck to something, or. But you don't have a needle minder on here, so.
I'm what I'm doing today is this is some fabric that was given to us, and I'm taking out this little bit of stitching that was in it so that I can put rabbits at the cafe on this.
Shall we pause it?
Yes, please.
Yeah, crushes a brother.
I was about to say the same words.
We found the needle.
Yeah.
So I was able. I cut the 2.5-inch strips for the inner border, and then 5.5 for the outer border in the dark green. And so here's a picture. You can see, just it's folded up, but you can see the one white or outer border, and then I have that's my special technique. If you want a technique, I put my borders. I fold them after I sew them end to end. I sew them on a diagonal so that there isn't. I sew them on a diagonal because I like the way that looks, and it kind of spreads out the seam in a different way. Anyway, and then I wrap them very carefully around a piece of cardboard. In this case, I used the 10-inch square cardboard that the layer cakes come on. And so, and then when I go to measure, it's easy to unfold the borders. I made a huge error last night. Anyway, I cut them out and sewed them together and wrapped them up, and they were all ready to go, and then I just couldn't look at the quilt for days. I don't know why. So because I had to, take the living room apart, put it on the floor, measure the thing, go sew it, come back, measure the other way, go sew it. So I was like putting it off. So I decided to go ahead and do it last night, and I measured the borders, and I've made a million quilts. I've made a million quilts, and I don't know why I did this. After I measured the border, I sat down, and you know what? I actually had the thought, like somebody on the quilt board was like, have you guys ever made a quilt where you didn't have to have Jack in hand, as in Jack the Ripper, to make, you make a mistake, you have to rip it out. And so I was sitting down, and I was like, I haven't had to rip anything out in this quilt. I had that thought. Don't ever have those thoughts.
The famous last words.
Those are bad thoughts. Because like an idiot, I sit down and I was like, I don't need to pin this. And I started sewing. Now, this quilt has the 4 patches, which they don't stretch. But then it's got that star block, which is all full of bias cut triangles. So if you wanted to, you could just go like that, right? So I was being very careful not to stretch it, and I'm sewing, and it's looking great. And I get to the end of the quilt, and I'm not kidding you, my border was this much too short. And I was like, of course it is. Because what I should have done, and what I have always done, and I don't know why I didn't do it, you fold the border in half, and then you fold it in quarters, and you mark the half mark and the 25, the quarter inch mark, the quarter length mark. And you fold your quilt in half, and you fold it in quarters, and you mark those. Then you lay it out, and you clip or pin the ends. You do the half, and you do the 25s and 75, right? And then you kind of ease it together, and boom, it fits. And I didn't do that. And I was literally I was about this far from the end of the border strip, which was about this far from the end of the quilt. And I was like, and it's flannel.
I quote my mother.
It's flannel. El flojo trabajo doble.
Yes.
I know. Well, I wasn't being lazy. I was just being, it was like my quilting brain had gone on vacation, and I had forgotten that all the rules I ever followed.
Okay, can
I
tell you how I did my border?
Oh.
I made sure that I had more than enough yardage.
And you sewed it and cut it.
I sewed it. When I got to the end.
Yeah, but you know what happens when you do that?
It ends up wonky or what?
It can wind up wonky because as the teeth are pulling the quilt through, it's pulling on, especially mine, which has half square triangles, which when things are cut on the bias, they they can stretch. So that's fine if everything on the edge of your quilt is squares. It's pretty much fine. Because what can happen is one side could be a different length than the other, and then when you lay it down, it goes.
So I figured it was going to take so much yardage, and I was going to have so much extra. And when I finished, that's how it was.
Well, good for you, but I'm saying like that when people say my borders are wavy, why are they wavy? It's because of that. It's because you then when you put the ends on, so you do it this way, then when you put them on this direction, a lot of times if it's stretched at all, then those side borders are going to wave because there's too much border fabric. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So the best way, but I like the way that lady in Jordan Fabrics said to measure, because the way I learned to measure, I think I talked about it last week, learned to measure borders was measure the edges, measure the middle, and average it and cut your border to that length. That's fine if you have a 3-foot baby quilt. But when you have a full-size quilt on the ground and you have to roll out your border and hope that it's not, sitting on the table like this, how when it's a thin strip of fabric and you lay it out and it kind of goes like this, because it's just, so this way, you smooth it from one end of the quilt to the other and then cut it in the middle of the quilt and then sew it to the end. But if you pin the halfway and the quarter marks together and ease it, then it works out really well. And I knew that, but no. So there I am picking out flannel, trying not to rip the fabric, and it was a nightmare. So I did that, but I got all the inner borders on last night, and I'm going to do the outer borders today. So that's that project. And then I'm like, ooh, once that's done, I'm going to go gangbusters. I do have to sew the back together, but I'm piecing the back, which I hate doing, but I decided to do it. It's another flannel. This girl is going to be wrapped in warmth. It's too late. There's a huge storm going to Boston right now.
They're supposed to be hit with blizzard conditions.
18 to 20 inches of snow in Boston. Mm-hmm. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, I saw the weather, the storm front that was hitting the East Coast, and I was like, oh my God.
11 degrees on Sunday. So, all you people in the Northeast, I feel for you.
That was like when I was in the first winter I was in Indiana.
Yeah.
They said it's the coldest winter we've had, and so my eyelashes were freezing together.
It's awful. But anyway, so I'm piecing together flannel for the back, which makes me nervous because I'm always convinced that I'm going to piece together and have a seam down the middle, and the seam, when you finish the quilt, the seam's going to go like this. But I'm going to really fuss about that. So anyway, so there's that. And then the other thing I've been working on is this sweater. And I am almost just 3 not rounds, but decreases away from the end. So that's about 12 4 times 6 is what, 28? No.
So
24.
So
24.
Eli will have that about when the really hot weather starts.
Yeah, when it gets hot, it'll be done. Because as soon as I finish the sleeve, I am not done with this sweater. I have to insert the zipper. So that'll be fun. So there's that. And then I finally decided on a project. I need to turn the brightness on my iPad down because it's dying. I decided on a project for my friend who's having a baby. She's due in early April. So I found a cute little jacket. I'll put up the shot here. It'd be faster to just sew her up a baby blanket, but you know me. I like
why make it easy?
Why make things easy for myself? I agonized over the yarn. I decided to go with an acrylic that can be washed because baby. And this is the yarn I got. It's, you can't really see on camera as well, but it's called Toy Elephant Marl, and it's a light gray, but it has tonal changes in it, so I think it'll look pretty. And in addition to that, I found a little like a, I'll put up a picture. It's a little hat called the, what's it called? Let me look it up real quick. It's called hold on. The campanula hat. I don't know how to say that. It's the name of a flower. It's a little pointy hat.
Oh,
look,
yeah.
you know, kind of a look to it. It's got a little pointy top, you know. So I thought that'd be cute in that gray to go with the sweater.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I didn't. It was a free pattern, and I like it, but I didn't know I was gonna get lectured. And the pattern at the end, she's like, I believe in pure wool and organic wool and babies, and that's why my babies were so healthy, because they wore wool every day, and our kids don't go out of the house without a hat on, even in the summer. And I'm like,
God.
okay, no, but I'm glad. I believe in wool. I believe in 100% wool. I believe in organic wool. I believe in wool being treated with respect and love, because I think it's a fantastic fiber. But I'm not going to say, you're a new mom, here's a wool hat. Don't get it dirty and wash it and block it every time you have to wash it. In cold water only. And, you know, not to a new mom. So anyway, if you want to do it to your own self and you want to make it for your own babies and you want to deal with wool for your own baby, more power to you. But you know, I'm like, I'm just making a little hat.
Well, you know, it's kind of like people who want to make their own baby food.
Yeah,
go ahead. It's like,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
But I don't want to.
But don't tell me that I need to.
No, and I don't want to cause a burden on anybody.
Right.
But this is really nice. It's very soft. This is the same line that I made that little rainbow jacket for Elsie. And so
she wouldn't use the primary color.
No, I know, because she doesn't know if she's having a boy or a girl, and things are decided. And I know gender, blah blah blah. I know, but and I realize girls can wear much more variety of color. Really, I mean, don't come at me. I'm not saying boys can't wear pink. I'm not saying that, but this is what I'm saying. You have a brand new baby. And you put a jacket on them, and it's decidedly boyish. And they're going to say, what a cute little boy. And you have to say, because babies don't look like boys or girls. So you have to say, it's a girl, really. She's wearing a blue jacket. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be just neutral. You know, just be neutral. And then if she was having a girl, you know, we would know, okay, you could do more, just different things. Okay, don't come at me. I'm old. Whatever. Anyway. And you know, if that's how she wants to parent her kid, I don't know. But I am not going to participate, so I'm going to do something neutral, and I'm going to just let the mom enjoy the knitted item rather than the gender burden that it displays.
So I have to ask you, Naomi, because you give a lot of things like this. Mm-hmm. So when you give stuff, are you offended if they don't respond with thank you cards or...
No. You know, most of the people that I've given things to, I know really well. I see all the time. So it's not even an issue. But, like, I made a little crochet cap for my physical therapist because she was leaving on maternity leave to have a baby. Mm-hmm. And she thanked me profusely, but I didn't expect anything in the mail. I saw that post. I know what post you're talking about. There was a post, right?
I did answer, you know, when you give a gift, you give it because you want to and you love whoever you're giving it to without, especially a new mom.
Well, and it sounded almost like it was...
They said, we're heartbroken because... Heartbroken?
Because it was a friend
of the husband.
Like maybe a work friend?
I don't know.
And they didn't acknowledge... I'm thinking like they probably said to the husband when he handed it to them, "Oh my gosh, thank you," which to me is efficient.
Yeah,
I'm not sitting here looking in the mailbox for a thank you card.
Well, especially with a new mom.
Mostly I'm just like, send me a picture. That's all I want. I want a picture of it. Like my friends in Boston loved
Being
the quilt
used.
I sent. And
Or
they
the little
sent me a
kids.
photo. Yeah. Or, Brittany's kids, she sent me photos of the kids in the sweaters. And like, that makes me happy. You know? Or my young friend, Robbie, he puts his... I've seen his quilt. He took it to Tanglewood and they were having a picnic on it. And I'm like, that's great. That's all I need. I just need to know it's being used and that you sort of like it. If you hate it and I never see it, I don't care. Don't tell me that. But I'm not sitting here searching the interwebs for my photo, for my, so that I don't care about. I really don't. So,
Yeah, I just was.
no. But, so I'm going to do that. I have until April. So I'm like, I know. I'll probably start it. Even though I shouldn't. But anyway, and then the other things I am going to... Okay, so when I finish Hannah's quilt, which I hope will be in the next week, then I'm going to start on the jacket for my quilting, sewing itch that I have. And knitting-wise, when I finish this thing, I'm going to, for my unofficial finish it February, I'm going to... hopefully finish Rachel's shawl because that's been languishing and I need to finish it. And then I have a ton of knitting projects that I'm not even going to consider for for finish it February. I see myself, I have this view of like this one day when I go, I don't have any projects to work on. I think I'm going to join this knit along, this sweater knit along, or this thing. I see so many these stitch alongs and knit alongs and crochet alongs, and I'm like, one day I'll be able to do that. And well, what do? I signed up for an email. I signed up for this thing, this 365 quilt blocks. You can access a new quilt block every day of a year and make a quilt. I'm like, what is wrong with me? But the thing is that you can access them and download them, and you can make them whenever. So I'm like, that's my kind of thing. But most of them are like this big, and it talks about getting yardage so you can do the whole entire quilt. But I thought, I could just do fat quarters that.
You could just do scraps that you have.
Yeah, or I could do fat quarters that coordinate and buy them little by little. Like if I decide this quilt's gonna be, blues and browns, so then I can just find a blues and browns that kind of go together as I go. Anyway, I don't know why I did it. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool, and it's like a sampler quilt, and it's kind of neat, and I don't know. But I thought I could make a block every once in a while. Because she said, you can get all 365 blocks, but you can spend the rest of your life making it if you want to. She just does this thing, and it's free. It's very cool. I'll put up the website right here if you're interested. So I did that like a fool. The other thing is I did cake up and start the little headband by that native knitter lady in New Mexico on my little 9-inch circular needles. I just one day couldn't take any of my current projects and I decided to start. And I have about this much done. And it's very hard. It's color work. It's on a tiny needle. It's on a tiny circumference. At one point there's three colors in a row, which is very hard. But it was just a challenge one night. I just decided to sit there until I was up late. I'm like, I'm going to work on this. And I was up late, and it literally took me the length of a movie, which I slept through to do one round. And I'm like, okay, this is stupid. I need to go to bed. But I just get on these hairs. So anyway, so I added another work in progress to my list. But so those are my goals. To get this sweater done, start the finish Hannah's quilt, and then I'm going to make the quilt jacket because I want to go to Boston with a quilt jacket because I think in April I'm still probably going to need it over there, just a light jacket. So that's my goal, to get that jacket done, finish Rachel's quilt, and then I'm also once I get this done, I'm going to work on Rachel's quilt and then probably start the baby stuff to get that out of the way, February, March. And then who knows? Since this will be airing after her birthday, I wanted to show this pretty kit that I got for Rachel. Happy birthday, Rachel! And it's a colored no count cross stitch printed fabric. So you can just, it's pretty easy, and then she won't have to worry about counting. And I'm going to give this to her with an IOU for lessons and getting started and helping her learn how.
Yeah, it's very
more.
pixelated, but it's not counted, so it,
Well, yeah,
makes
but
it
it's
easier.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at the fabric. It's very easy to see where
That's what I mean.
goes where.
That's what I mean. It's pixelated to look at it, but
Yeah.
when
Well,
you
yeah,
when you
but
stitch it, it's
all
easy
cross
because
stitches.
but it's easy because you don't have to count. You know.
Yeah, so I think it'll be nice for her. There's some looks like half stitches and stuff, but or maybe not. Oh no, that's just a symbol, or I don't know. Anyway, we'll look at it. But I was gonna help her learn how to do this. I don't know why there's numbers. Why are there numbers?
Sometimes symbols are numbers.
No. Anyway, I don't know. I've never done one of these, but so I will learn with her. But anyway, happy birthday, Rachel. I got you that. And you will know that because by the time you watch this, you'll have already opened it. And I think that's all I have to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get back to working on this.
So I was working on WIP Go stuff all this month, as well as something for Rachel. So on my WIP Go for January, they had called number 2 and number 19. So number 2 is Spring Scamper that I talked about last time, that I completed the Carrot Mobile. And so that one, I met that goal. And my other goal is for Piano Cat was the other one that was called. And my goal, I had changed to, no, I had not changed this one. This one was 15 days. And Saturday, today is Friday, Saturday it will be 15 days. So I will meet this goal as well. And on this one, this is the one that I had to start over again because I had done the fabric wrong. But so this time I went, the first time I had done about up here to the cat's neck, and then I went this way. So I have not done that yet, but I went up instead. So the cat is finished up to here. This is his ear and his head. And so
Finished or just that color finished?
Well, that color is finished. I got up to the top of the design. So above the cat's head are the sort of seams to the little music book that's in the design. So that's what these vertical lines are here. You probably can't see them on camera from a distance, but there's a vertical line here and a vertical line here, and the music is done with there's a few individual stitches, and then with back stitching around them for the notes, and there's some words and stuff like that are all back stitched in there. And then there was a couple of blue lines down here, and so I did a little bit of this. This is part of the piano, so that I could do these blue lines at the top. So I did just some little pops of color. I did his eye, and there's the little 2 stitches for his nose and tongue. So those are actually done. There's some back stitching that'll set it off, and then of course other colors. But so now I'm down here working on the bottom part of this again. So actually, and what I'm trying to do is get to the get all the gray done, down here. So I'm in this area here. So I did this one and went up this way. So yeah. But so like I said, on Saturday I will have done 15 days on this. So
You can put it away.
I can put it away for I don't know however long. But then yesterday was it that they called the next 2 numbers? So number 5 is Peacock. It's another Design Works kit.
That's pretty.
Yeah,
Wow. I haven't
by
seen that.
Nicola Gregory.
I haven't seen you do that. Yeah, have you? worked
Yeah,
on
I
it?
bought it quite some time ago, and I did just a little bit of it. And let me put these in here.
Oh.
So, So I have to update my WIP Go page. But so Peacock was the one that was called, one of the ones that was called, and so I took the kit Ada that it came with, and I dyed it. I must have bought this last
You bought it
last year because I have my Love to Stitch from February of last year on there. So I think it goes like it goes like this. I think so I just again started in this blue color, and so I just did a little bit of it. Then, so I think my needle minder is upside down, but I think it goes like this. I don't know. I'll have to look at it more closely.
You better figure it out.
Yeah, this time I don't want to do
Actually, I a lot of times put a little piece of thread in the top corner.
Yeah,
top
I usually
left corner or something.
Yeah, I usually
I can-
I've been putting the well when I stitch I always put the hoop, at the screw thing of the hoop at the top, so that I know which is the top and which is the bottom. It's just that I haven't looked at this one in so long. I don't know. But what was nice about this kit was that the threads all came on a little card. So whereas that Piano Cat, they just came in a in a blob, which was kind of a hassle because they're like gray, light gray, very light gray. So they're all like very similar colors. So anyway, there's Peacock. And the other one that was called, there's not room over here for my crap.
That's why we cover you up.
I know. The other one that was called was Voyage of Discovery, which is the Christopher Columbus ships. And I have last time I worked on this was probably last May, but so this is 28 count. Monaco that I dyed. So I have 4 ships that are all this this same color. I'll look up if I show the front. And I think it goes like this, like this. So this is the middle ship.
Is it that big? As big as that cloth?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
Yeah, it's pretty full coverage. I think it goes like this. Yeah, because it's a flag.
I'm gonna start.
Oh, you finished picking out?
Yeah.
So so this one you can actually kind of see the shape
Yeah.
of the sails, and then you can see the crosses and the masts and stuff on there. On the other ones, the other ships that I have, 2 of them, they just look like blobs because there's just blobs
Yeah.
of white, for the sails, because there's so many sails.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for my goal for this one, I think I just put like 10 days, as I recall. Yeah, it's just 10 days, so it should be not hard to meet that goal. And what I was looking for earlier, and I can't find it, was the stuff that the little kit that I got for you.
For me?
Remember the stoneware bunny?
Oh, yeah.
For the
You double bought something you were going to give me.
yeah, and I decided to
Make
give
me
it to
do
you.
a challenge. I forgot about that. They
Yeah.
make me do the challenge. One of the challenges.
Okay. So this is my second WIP Go project for February.
Speaking of challenges,
Hang on 1 second.
they showed what the Witchy Stitchy needle minder
the
Oh,
October
yeah?
one. Yeah.
Did you ever answer the email to tell her that you finished
Yeah,
the challenge?
I thought I did.
Okay, I'm just wondering. She's just now starting to send them out.
Oh, what does it look like? Is it cute?
It's so cute. It's a little cauldron.
My cauldron's in the dishwasher.
Use that over there. I was looking for that rabbit, and I put it somewhere.
Junk.
Oh yeah, here it is, right there.
You too many projects.
I thought, oh no, where did I put that thing? And I put it. So this is I had already bought this one, and I bought it again. And Naomi had asked me if I was going to give it to her, and I was thinking about doing a giveaway or something, but instead I still have it, so I thought, oh, Naomi can participate in Winter Crossstitch Camp because it's all one color.
Oh, and that's easy.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
do
very
that.
small. It's and it comes with all the stuff.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Cute little bunny. Okay, cool.
So for Winter Crossstitch Camp, of course, the challenge is to do something all one color. So I'm doing gathering berries. I think I talked about this last week. So there's that. And I had picked up. My needle minders are sticking together.
The ones from the embroidery.com challenges, they're so strong that if they get next to each other, I'm like fighting with them to try to separate them from my scissors or something like that.
So this is the color that I chose, and this is again 28 count Monaco that I dyed. So this is using like a light purple dye, and I don't know where exactly I'm going to put it because the pattern is. Did I drop something? The pattern is only like 76 by 76, so I'll probably put it in the corner of this fabric. But then I chose Bing Cherry
That's pretty.
to go on there. So yeah, it's a big thread there.
I know you only chose it because it's cherry.
Because the Bing Cherry, my favorite Bing Cherry. But so I think it'll look really good on this fabric.
That's pretty.
Yeah. So that's my February Winter Crossstitch Camp project. And since the challenge is to do 30 minutes a day, I should easily meet my WIP Go goals and the Winter Crossstitch Camp goals. But then the other thing I wanted to do.
Does that challenge of 30 minutes a day have to be on the same thing?
No.
Okay.
No, it's
I couldn't remember.
30 minutes a day on anything.
If you want to do that one, you need to go hit participate right away.
Yeah.
You get the cutest for the Witchy Stitchy and the I Love to Stitch. You get the cutest little needle minders.
Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah,
'Cause
I don't
maybe
know
I'll
if-
start that Christmas one that you're supposed to dye fabric for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still
we're
have that
about to
fabric.
we're about to dye fabric.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then the other thing I wanted to do was last summer I had done this rabbit design for January, and so this is the February one. So I thought, well, I can just squeeze it in there for February, and it is also not very big. It's 57 by 57, and I think when I did it for Crossstitch Camp in July, I think I did it. June or July. I finished it in like a week or something. So
one
this is-
similar to that, not that one.
Yeah, not this one,
Yeah.
but the January one. So this one is a little bit more colors. The January one only had 2 colors, and this one has like 8. But they're relatively small. The areas, and it's only 57 by 57. And so this one I'm doing on Pink Splash, which is almost white, but it has just little pink splashes on it. And it is all they're all in silks, and that was one of the challenges in the summer camp.
That would have been then
Was-
August with the thread or something you haven't used. So
I
maybe
don't
you
know.
did it in August.
I know there was a designer that you'd never had before, and
The first one was inspired.
yeah.
So you did your angels.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then the second one was the designer. I don't remember who you did. And then the third one was thread or fabric.
Needle Arts by Wendy. That spring one or whatever. Yeah. So these are all Gloriana silks. And these are the colors that are going to be on this pink splash. And it's basically, the pink splash, like I said, is basically white. So they'll all show up on there very nicely. So this is my February pattern. And there's another thread. So whether or not I finish this in February doesn't really matter. But so it's not on my WIP Go goal or anything like that. So I'm not sweating it.
Well, it's not WIP Go and it's not Winter Crossstitch. It just gives you something to do.
Cross stitching for fun.
Yeah, it just gives you something to do for
Yeah.
I
So
love to stitch.
The only challenge thing is the Winter Crossstitch Gathering Berries challenge.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I for Rachel for her birthday, I did the owl towel.
That's fun.
So I ironed it today, and I lint rollered it to take all the cat hair off it because she wanted to put her own cat hair on it.
She needs to put her own
Because her cats.
She has cats.
She has cats, yeah, so she can put her own cat
It's
hair
a
on it.
fresh slate, fresh start.
Well, and then yesterday we were at Hobby Lobby.
Oh, I was wondering if you were going to talk about that.
And I bought this book. It's
I suggested it. Well,
yeah.
I found it because I was looking for something for Rachel, I saw that book.
It looks like that kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these.
Well, that's what attracted me was the sunflowers.
Yeah. These. There's basic flower pattern kind of things, cross stitch patterns. But what this talks about is a dyeing technique, and that I hadn't really. I don't know if people have talked about this on YouTube, FlossTube, or not. But so that for each project they have like a fabric size, but they have suggested the dyes that they used for their version of this project. So, and I think they use a lot of powdered dyes, but you can also use liquid dyes. I don't think it matters. But so I really bought it for the sort of suggestions for the techniques, not to make specific fabrics.
Right.
But then what they do is for these projects they show you they basically daub the colors onto the fabric. So that if you want to get this exact look, it tells you do this step first and then do this do this color and then do that color, and so you daub it onto the fabric wherever you want, basically.
It's like painting a background.
But, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So you go through and do the technique. So you have like this one, light down here, dark
All
up
that
here.
color is the dye, and then the stitching is the yellow flowers.
Right.
But all this is that dyeing technique.
Yeah.
And I picked up the book and saw that, and I thought, I bet Beth would like that. So I said, here, look at this book. And
Yeah, because all the dyeing that I've done, I've done just like low immersion, like maybe an inch or so of
water.
dye,
Uh-huh.
and then just crumple it up the fabric and stick it on there so that you get a little modeling. And in some cases I've taken and put the fabric in a whatever basic color, and then just put little blips of another color on top of it. But I haven't done this daubing technique, just putting
It looks like
color.
they have it like with a rag, and then
They
they dab
have
it
like,
on.
I was reading a little bit about it. They have like a paper towel,
Uh-huh.
and just dabbing that color on here and here and here, and then dabbing the next color here and there. So
cool.
so yeah, I thought that would be an interesting thing to try sometime, to just try daubing that color on, because on one piece I decided to darken the fabric with a little coffee dye, and I just used a little paintbrush and kind of stuck it here and there, but like I had already stitched a little bit on it, so like of course the dye just went zoop,
Yeah.
onto the thing and kind of colored the threads a little bit, but
Well,
it wasn't
cool.
that but this is a neat idea. So
When I saw that, I was like, "Hey Beth, look at these dyeing techniques in here."
yeah, so
I thought that was cool.
that's my
Is it story time?
yeah.
Story
Can
time.
you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna also be down here, a lot of white.
Yeah.
What pattern is that?
That's
The rabbits at the
cafe.
cafe.
Oh, okay.
I gave myself permission to start since they called the numbers.
Oh, I see. You're
Getting a jump
your
start.
board, your rules. So okay, so I have lots of stories this week. I don't know about you guys, and actually, okay. So since last week we went, what happened this week? I decided I'm gonna write when weird stuff happened to me. I wrote it down on my phone because I was like, I gotta talk about that. So this actually happened last week, and I forgot to talk about it. Or no. It happened after we recorded last week. It happened over the weekend. I had a fire in my kitchen. It wasn't a huge fire. It wasn't actual flames, but it set off the smoke alarms. And we found out that the hardwired ancient 1980 whatever smoke alarms in our house actually work. It's a big scary sound. And I think Mark thinks we've set it off one time before. But I was so upset. So I was going to try this new recipe, that recipe I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
And
It looks good.
I know how to make chicken, okay? I know how to cook chicken, but I have a problem when I'm cooking a full, large breast of chicken. Because, first of all, it was thawed, but it still had some icy crystals kind of spots in the,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I was cooking it, and I was cooking it in oil the way it said, but you know how it splatters all over, right? So I put a lid on it, which in retrospect may have not been the right thing to do. But I put a lid on it, and it was cooking well, and I thought, okay, this is good. And so then at the designated time, I turned it over, and I kept cooking it. And so they were kind of thick, right? And even with the lid on, it was splattering. You know how it goes, right? And there was steam coming out under the lid. I'm like, okay. And at the designated time, I took out my meat thermometer and I checked it, and they were not to temperature. And I knew it was because they were still partially a little bit on the frozen side.
Right.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, well, and I left them. I didn't turn them over, which maybe I should have. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered. But I left them there. And I was goofing around the kitchen, and all of a sudden I'm like, that doesn't look like steam anymore. Because it was literally steaming the whole time, right? Coming out steam.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, that steam looks different. So then I made the biggest mistake, which was I realized they were burning. And I picked up the lid. And I always pick up a lid and let it drip into the pan, right? Because there's always condensation. So I did that. But what happened was because what had been happening was that the oil had been coming up and kind of lining the edge of the pan, right that, that how it's not sealed shut, right? So there was, I think it was oil like on the edge of the pan. And when I lifted it, it went down the sides and
Down the outside?
on the outside, and that actual oil got onto the burner. And then it really started smoking and burning. And I picked the pan up and moved it to another burner. but there was already a ring of oil on my beautiful glass brand new cooktop. And it was smoking hard. Smoke alarms go off, and I'm like, I cannot believe this. And I pick up the chicken, and it's like hard black. And I told Mark, it's caramelized.
And he used to tell us it's good for your
in
teeth.
chefy speak, it's caramelized. And I was able to, actually, I cut the burn off the bottom, and the rest of the chicken was fine. I'm like, this better be up to temperature now. And it was. And I cooked the sauce in a different pan, and we had dinner. And then I spent, I don't know how long, cleaning off that stuff. So that was my adventure last weekend. I burned my kitchen.
You were on your way somewhere, and you said, I'm running late because I had a kitchen calamity.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
But
oh, no. I had another kitchen calamity?
no,
That I
don't think
didn't write
so.
about.
No. But I remember we were expecting you or something, and you said, I'm running late. Oh, maybe it was the next day or something for something. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't remember that. I didn't write that down. It's
It
not on the list.
It doesn't.
It's not on the list. No. So, okay. So then let's see. I took Eli home Tuesday night. Wednesday, I took him back to work. And I'm driving downtown. Okay? And there's this guy. Okay. I'm driving, for those of you who live in Phoenix, I'm driving south on 7th Street. And I'm going to turn onto Van Buren. But as I approached Fillmore, which is a street up, named after all the presidents, a street just north of there, there is, looks like construction, something, I can't remember exactly, but I think if I remember right, there were, the middle lane was blocked off. You know, the lane furthest to the middle. Then there was a lane, then there was my lane I was in, and then there was a turn lane to turn onto Fillmore. At the corner of Fillmore and 7th is a building, and I didn't know what it was at that moment. So I'm driving down, and light's red, so I'm slowing down, and there's a car in front of me, and then cars stopped at the intersection. The car in front of me, at the last minute, like he'd lost his mind, went, and got into the turn lane and turned into that building parking lot. And I was like, that was weird. So I kept going and started to get my place in line at the light. And as I'm approaching this giant thing, SUV truck thing, where, I'm in my little SUV, and I had to look up to see into the window. That's how big it was. But it was a personal car. He starts to try to get in to that spot that this guy just left. And I don't remember seeing a turn signal, and for sure he was far enough ahead of me that I wouldn't have seen his rear turn signal. That's how, he was like this. And he just started to stick his nose in, and I was like, no, sir. And I pulled up. And I could hear him. He's honking, and I kind of glance up, and the girlfriend or whatever, wife, whatever, was, looking at me and everything. So then I take my place, and he pulls around behind me, and he comes around into that turn lane and rolls his window down, and he stops in line with my window. And I told my son, I'm like, Eli, don't even look at him. Because when it happened, I went like this, like, what are you doing? And then he got mad and he went around and he rolled his window down and I didn't hear what he said. And then he continued in the turn lane and turned into that building, which then I looked at it and I was like, okay. So what I imagined him yelling was, I deserve to jump in front of you because I need to get my taco. It was a taco shop. Like, you're fussing at me because you were in the wrong lane to get into your taco shop. Maybe if it was a hospital and your wife was in labor, you could scream at me like that. But I'm like, you were in the wrong lane, sir, and you were trying to just butt your way through so that you could get to your precious taco shop. Because God forbid you have to drive down the street and turn around. Like everyone else who misses their turn. I'm like, are you kidding me? So next time
it's one of the things that I was trying to drill into Robert when I was teaching him how to drive. There is no exit that you are coming to that you need to so badly get off on, that you have to cross from there all the way over, or
Panic.
if
Or
you
yell
miss
at
it.
Right.
If you are getting onto the freeway and nobody lets you in, and you're going to end up having to get back off the freeway
Just get
again, just get off.
Yeah. That's what I told Hannah. You never panic. If you miss your exit, miss it.
The only problem is those entrances to the freeway where you can't get back off again and they won't let you in. In that case, you just do what you have to do to get in safely.
Sit on the gore for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Because, it's just like, there's another exit
Yeah.
1 mile away.
That's what I always tell my dad when I'm driving. He makes him laugh. I'm like, I think this goes through to where I'm thinking it does. And if not, we'll take a drive.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like I have gone actually literally the wrong way on the freeway one time here in town. I was trying to take Hannah back to something in Ahwatukee, and I actually wound up going towards Phoenix. And there's no easy place to fix yourself that way. But you have to do it.
Remember on the way home from Albuquerque when I passed the 17? Because there was sun like this.
Yeah.
And out here, when the sun comes low and it gets in your eyes, it is blinding.
You're blind.
Even with sunglasses on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the signs are little black blobs.
But this guy was perfect. The prime example of your lack of preparation
does
not
problem.
Constitute an emergency for me. It's like that's not. I don't.
That was my attitude when I was driving Uber. Yeah, your lack of preparation is not my problem.
Emergency. No. So it's crazy. I was so funny. I mean, I'm just like, and you just want to turn around and go say, dude, it was a taco, but of course you can't. So I'm telling you guys to get it out of my system. But, and then the other funny thing happened was I got my cat all sticky. I thought something was horribly wrong and realized it was my fault. Okay. We wanted Chinese food, and we've been kind of disappointed in our regular go-to place. So we went to our old go-to place, which at that time disappointed us years ago, and actually was really good. So I was very excited. Anyway, as part of that meal, I had an egg roll with with the sauce, the orange, the orange
sweet and
sauce.
sour
Duck sauce.
Yeah. So good. And the egg rolls were very crispy. They were so good. Anyway, so I ate dinner. And I was wearing one of those shirts I call a trash can or garbage bag shirt, which has printing on it that's so thick like you can't feel it if it gets wet. That's important to remember. So I ate and I sat back, and when I was eating, I was sitting in my recliner, but I was sitting up on the edge of my seat because there was a big fat cat sitting behind me. So when I finished eating, I got up and I turned around and I picked him up and I was cuddling him here. I was like, oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. Or maybe he was this way first, and I was like, oh, you're so cute. And then he got up and he kind of walked around, and then I picked him up again, and the side of his hip felt all sticky and weird, and I was like, what is going on? And I picked him up, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, Mark, bring me a wet paper towel, something, what did he get on him? And I'm like, and he's been sitting in my chair, so I'm looking in my chair, the chair's perfectly clean. And then I put two and two together that I had dripped that sauce on my shirt and then cuddled him right onto it. And so there I'm chasing him around with a wet paper towel because he was like, heck no, you're not going to put that on me. Well, so finally I grabbed him. I'm like,
I've told you all about the time that I used to love to. Domino's had a chicken wing. It had a spicy. It's not the ones they have now, but Cajun sauce on it, and I loved those wings, and so did my cat. Sometimes toward the very middle, I would give her a little sliver of that chicken, and she loved it. So whenever she smelled me eating that, she would come and she would just stare up at me like, I want some of that chicken. So,
but you would give her some of the meat without the sauce on it,
right?
Yeah.
So we had moved from Florida, where I started eating that chicken, to Albuquerque. My mom and Dad's house in Albuquerque, the core of it was like a utility area, but then the rest of the house was like a big circle around this core. And we were on this side of that core area, and I had some of that chicken, and I had given her already a tiny little sliver from the middle, but I was getting up to throw it away, and you know, they came in those boxes, and they would put like a little piece of foil or something, and it was in this little box. And so I stood up with the little box, and she's still looking up because she's hoping for some more. You know, she's up like this. And some of that juice dropped down in her eye.
Oh.
And this I figured out when she started screaming and running around and around and around the thing. And I grabbed her, and there's all these claws, you know, because she was in a lot of pain. And I turned on the cold water in the bathroom, and I shoved her head under it. Because, I mean, what else could I do, right? And at first she's like, traumatizing her more, right? And then she's like, okay, yeah, that was good. I felt horrible.
Poor baby.
I mean, it wasn't intentional, but
Speaking of catastrophes, this morning, you know, when we moved into this house, my bedroom, my bedroom was the guy who had lived here before had turned it into a home gym, so it had like a rubberized, you know, floor. So we got the flooring changed, and I got like a fake vinyl flooring that, you know, like fake wood, right? Because I have cats.
It's real vinyl.
Fake wood. So because I have cats, you know, I wanted something that
clean easy.
that I could clean easily, and you know, that if they barfed on it, you know, wouldn't be carpet for, you know, that would be ruined. So the only problem is that the little, you know, pattern that they have to make it look like real wood has these black, like, you know, blotches that are supposed to be like, you know, knots or something in the wood, but they look like cat barf. and Puck, my cat Puck, goes into reverse very easily. He gets hairballs on a regular basis. The other cat, Snug,
who has more fur.
Yeah, who you know, has longer fur, and you know, doesn't seem to. I think in the however many years I've had him, he's like thrown up like maybe 2 or 3 times. Yeah. Where Puck, it's a fairly regular phenomenon. And so, so Puck, like, I'm always like, you know, I hear him hawking, and I'm like jumping up and then getting him off the furniture or something, so he'll.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. So he threw up this morning. So I'm over there cleaning up, and I'm like, wait, is that the floor? Or is that mess? Is that, you know? So I'm like okay, but yeah,
So it fools you. So
Yeah,
next time you need like white, or no, you need some kind of neutral color.
A lighter oak color or something instead of a brown color, dark color. Yeah.
You could say that hides the mess.
Well, you know, Robert, he'll be lying on the couch, you know, watching TV, and then he like springs off the couch and goes running, you know, saying no, because he hears the cat
in the bedroom.
Yeah.
My cats must be. I'm sorry to be talking about cat barf, but when you're a cat owner, it's just part of life. Whichever one has thrown up a couple of times, they're silent barfers.
Yeah.
They are silent. I've never heard them. And the other day, I went in. So we have a gate across our master bathroom, because we don't want the dog going into our master bathroom and eating cat food and other treasures. Because she's a dog and she'll do that. I sent Hannah a picture of this adorable little dog that looked like a little teddy bear, and I said, it's real cute, but it'll still eat its own poop. But anyway, because it's still a dog. But anyway, so we have a gate, and so I stepped over the gate, it was nighttime. Yeah, because Mark was sleeping. So I had my phone flashlight on, and I went in to give them their midnight kibble, so they would let me sleep. And so I went in and I gave them their little midnight kibble. But to get in, right, you got to step over the gate, and then walk in. And I turned around with my little flashlight, and I saw something by the gate, and I was like, what is that? And it was a big old barf. And I was like, I almost stepped in that. It would have been so awful, because I would have probably pulled my foot up right away and lost my balance and fallen. And I'm like, I didn't even see that. So I was narrowly averted catastrophe.
That's the one thing about Snug, like when he's getting ready, he'll like.
That's how Tyler was. That's how Tyler was. He was very upset. Pippin, he just, on a matter of course.
Yeah, Puck is like,
Okay, sorry. We've gone to a very gross corner. I apologize very much for I hope none of you have weak stomachs.
For our digression.
Yeah.
We digress greatly.
But, so.
Speaking of digressing, Rachel and I watched Ozark this week, and I'm still messed up about it. The new season of Ozark came out. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's very violent. If you do not like to watch that kind of thing, do not go near it.
We also went to see the new Spider-Man.
We saw Spidey yesterday. It was so good. It was really good, actually.
Yeah, I really enjoy that actor. He's just
Tom Holland. He's such a cutie. He's a cutie pie. But
I still
it was fun.
Like him from the first time I saw him in the Impossible with.
I forgot that he was in that little kid.
Yeah,
and he was also in that one All Bad All the Time. Is that what it was called? Something like that, where he's like this kid who... It's a very fascinating movie. He's a kid whose, I guess, father dies or something, and he goes off on his own and gets kind of involved with these murderers. It's very interesting.
That one.
Yeah, it's good. He's good. And then we just saw another one he's coming out in with Mark Wahlberg.
The
Uncharted.
Yeah.
I want to see that. It looks really good. Yeah, they advertised all the Tom Holland movies yesterday. But yeah, so that was our fun week. I guess that's about it.
Oh, you talked about the "you idiot" thing in the sign.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to remember all the signs that we were talking about.
Yesterday,
you got me in a coughing fit laughing so hard about
yesterday, I told them, I'm like, because I've thought about this for a long time, but I never told anyone, that I decided I want to be a Sharpie bandit, and I want to go and write "you idiot" under all the signs outside, like right lane closed ahead, you idiot.
Right lane must turn right.
Yeah, right lane must turn right. Right lane, right turn only, you idiot. And like it fits every single sign you could see. Just add "you idiot" underneath, and it takes it to a whole new dimension.
Well, how about in the neighborhoods, children at play?
Yeah, you idiot.
Yeah, you shouldn't be going.
Or like no parking signs. It's like no parking, you idiot. And it would be so appropriate. It would be so good.
Or stop,
you idiot. Yeah. So we were laughing yesterday, but I don't know. It just I'm like. Maybe I'll start a new Instagram. Oh, I'm giving my ideas away. A new Instagram with signs with that added onto it. And
it's like that game that people play where you add "that's what she said" at the end of every phrase or something,
or under the sheets, or between the sheets, or whatever. On fortune cookie, yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be the Sharpie bandit. I'm gonna be yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. But. Well, we had better go.
I think that's everything.
I want you to dye my fabric for me. For my Christmas.
You dye it yourself.
You said you would dye it. I don't even know where it is.
I have it.
Beth has it.
See? You have it. Because you're going to dye it for me.
That's what I'm saying. You dye it, though.
I've got other things to do. I got so many things to do.
I'm not the one itching to start that pattern. Among all my other things
I wanted to start it in December. I wanted to start it. I bought it in October. And you haven't dyed it for me since October. Yeah, I know. I know.
Because I asked you, you want to come over and dye fabric? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, to be fair, we haven't actually, gotten ready to dye fabric.
Well, I think we were going to one day, and then something happened, and
well,
did something
things
else.
happen. Things happen. I know, but I know I'd like to do that. Maybe I'll do that February thing because I don't have enough to do. And I want to start something new. I'm going to keep doing new things. I can't stop starting new things. Oh. Okay, so I'm on to my friend's Instagram things. He posted, I think I might have sent it to you. He posted this thing that said, it was a flow chart. Oh yeah, you couldn't see it. That's right.
Yeah.
It was a flow chart, and it said, the desire to, or do you want to start a new project? No. Something. The flow chart was called "My Decision Making for Starting a New Project," and it said, "Do you have time to start that project?" And one answer was yes, and then it said, no. One answer said no, and then it said, "Don't start the project." And then the other answer said yes, and it said, "No, you don't. Don't start a new project." And so I wrote to him, and I was like, "That's me." And I said, "Oh, but wait, no. Oh, no. I said, I need to post this in my craft room." And I said, "No, wait, I can't do that. Because I never finish anything. So starting new projects I don't have time for is the only joy I have." So, it's like, it's the thrill of a new relationship.
Well, you're going to finish Hannah.
Yeah.
You're going to finish Hannah's quilt. You're about to finish that
I do finish
that
things.
sweater.
I do finish things.
It just takes a while.
Just sometimes things hang over my head, and I don't like it. But, so, I know. That's how it goes. But I'm going to go so I can finish this. Hopefully by next week, I'll
You
have
could be
the
like
zipper
me,
in.
like finish stitching stuff and then just never have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I was getting a project bag to put this, I don't know if it was this berries one or the other one. It was the other project. And so I'm the rabbit. So I'm, putting stuff in there, and I'm thinking, well, I want to put the silk in here and I thought, well, what's in this project? What's in this? And there's a little plastic bag, and I pulled it out, and it's the carrot nose and the snowball thing from that
From the snowman.
the snowman. I'm like, oh yeah, I put it in there so I wouldn't lose.
Oh my god. Beth, look.
Oops.
Your fray got stuck to my yarn. Keep your fray to yourself.
I did bring my fray bottle out here. My fray container.
So I'm about to finish this sleeve, and this is all the yarn I have left, but I have a whole nother ball. So what do I guess I'll make him a hat.
He won't wear a hat.
Oh yeah, he will. He likes stocking hats.
Yeah,
Wish you
because
could
then
go
he doesn't
fishing.
have to comb his hair. Like all guys, They like
No,
hats.
that's why my children are so healthy, because they wear wool all the time. I could not believe that pattern. Anyway, on that note, I guess we're going to say goodbye.
Yeah.
We're so glad you joined us this week. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and we will
Let us know what you're doing in February.
Oh, yeah. What's your plans for February? It's almost here.
And go to everything, go to embroidery.com, join the I Love to Stitch challenge, get a needle
A
minder.
free needle minder.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good week. We'll see you back next week.
Bye.
In February.
Bye.
Bye.